Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the change of watch ceremony for the 13th Coast Guard Command Master Chief and the retirement ceremony for Master Chief Petty Officer Charles Lindsey. I am Master Chief Petty Officer Dean Smith, and I will be your master of the ceremony. I'd like to take a moment to extend especially a warm welcome to Master Chief Lindsey's wife, Leslie, and children Wilson and Keith. I'd also like to welcome Master Chief McPhillamy's wife, Robin. Thank you all for being here today. There are also a number of distinguished guests that I would like to welcome. Myself, Robert Parker, U.S. Coast Guard, retired. Major General James Collins, U.S. Army, retired. Captain Eduardo Pina, U.S. Coast Guard, retired. Sergeant Major Matthew Morrow, U.S. Army. And our 13th District commanding officers and officers in charge. Before the arrival of the official party, and already on stage, I would like to introduce Chaplain Michael Greenwald, 13th Coast Guard District Chaplain, and Master Chief Petty Officer Sean McPhillamy, respective Command Master Chief, 13th Coast Guard District. Will the guests please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of colors, the national anthem, and invocation. Military personnel, attention. Command Master Chief, 13th Coast Guard District, arriving. Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, arriving. Commander, 13th Coast Guard District, arriving. And salute. Ready two. Color guard, present the color. And salute.
Ready to say, out. Order. Out. Over. Out.
Ready two. Military personnel. Chaplain Greenwald will now offer the invocation.
Gracious and abiding Lord, Commander-in-Chief of all creation, shepherd in the presence of all our movements, of every step, whether it be coming or in going, go with us. In the midst of this gathering, made holy by all who are in this place, made sacred by the legacy of the service of sacrifice to others, we gather upon our ship and going ashore to welcome his relief in the tradition of the change of the watch. It is through your word that you have taught us where there is no guidance, the people fall, but in abundance of counsel there is victory. As Master Chief Lindsey turns over his position of authority and responsibility as senior enlisted leader of District 13, as he steps into the next chapter of life with Leslie and their children keeping the ghost, today we pray give him pride of the lessons that he has taught, satisfaction in the leadership he has modeled, confidence in the counsel he has given, and the promise of his lasting and positive impact upon so many young men and women's lives. As you have been, both pillar of fire by night and pillar of cloud by day, so continue to guide him, Leslie, and their children in their new life ahead. As Master Chief Filling assumes this legacy, granting your guidance and counsel that you remain diligent in leadership, energized in service, a constant source of counsel and of guidance to the men and women he both leads and he serves. We pray rain down your blessings and strength upon him and Robin. Lend them your support as they serve our Coast Guard and now grow in this community. Finally, God of endless grace, today we seek your divine guidance and protection upon all who wear the cloth of our nation. Grant us your grace that we faithfully tend to the welfare of all who depend on our service. Let those who serve and those who are served never forget the tremendous cost military members and families have paid and continue to pay for all we enjoy. These things we now pray through him who unites us now in his love. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Command Master Chiefs, or CMCs, as they are commonly referred, represent their commander and crew. They communicate the commander's goals and direction to the command of the field, while simultaneously representing the field views and concerns to the commander. They promote balance between workforce needs and organizational goals. CMCs provide a field reality check as they provide input to high-level policymakers. They also act as a resource person assisting Coast Guard personnel in subordinate commands as needed. Although CMCs are not in the chain of command, they strengthen it by working within the chain of command whenever possible to provide ground truth feedback. They enhance communication and foster a better understanding of the needs and viewpoints of all members of the Coast Guard family by advising, consulting, and participating in the senior leadership team. As the CMC is a critical component of effective command, the Command Master Chief change of watch is given the same credence as those of commanding officers and officers in charge for the reasons just noted. It's my pleasure to introduce the presiding official for today's ceremony, Commander of 13th Coast Guard District, Rear Admiral Richard Cromwell.
Good morning, Admiral Parker, Colonel Collins, Master Chief Cantrell, distinguished guests, friends, family, shipmates from throughout the 13th Coast Guard District. It's truly an honor for me to be here today to preside over this ceremony and to recognize the amazing career of an incredible Coast Guard member. As I look around the audience, I see people that have traveled from near and far, from the northern end of the district to the southern, from the east coast to the west coast. And I think that just shows how much we all think of Master Chief Chuck Lindsey. Thank you all for being here today to share in this very special ceremony and celebration. Much like a unit change of command, the change of watch from one command master chief to the next is a very meaningful occasion. As
As a leader of the Chiefs Mess and representative of the district's personnel, the CMC has tremendous influence over the culture of the units within his area of responsibility. This ceremony will celebrate Master Chief Lindsey's accomplishments while serving here in the Great Pacific Northwest, and will welcome Master Chief McPhilby and Rob and his wife to the District 13 team. I gotta say, I've really been struggling with my remarks for today's ceremony because while I'm really excited for Chuck and his family and the opportunities that lie ahead, it's always difficult to say goodbye to someone you care about and you admire so much. I thought about just doing what the Chief of Staff did at the holiday party earlier this week, but I didn't think just saying I love you, man, and giving you a big hug was appropriate in front of this audience. But I will say that it was short, sweet, certainly came from the heart, and definitely captured what so many of us here today feel. For my first days at the Coast Guard Academy some 36 years ago, I was told to respect the Chief and to look to them for guidance and expertise. This advice has helped me time and time again throughout my career, and the past 18 months have been no different. From my early days as an ensign on a buoy tender through my times on numerous hangar decks, I have constantly been taken under the wing of the Chief and shown not only the way we do things, but more importantly, how we take care of our people. Master Chief Lindsey has been more than my command master chief. He's been a neighbor, a friend, a confidant, and a trusted advisor. He, quite frankly, embodies everything that a chief should do. I didn't know Chuck Lindsey when I first arrived at B-13. I was blessed to have an absolutely amazing gold badge who was already here when I arrived, Master Chief Jason Vanderhaven. And after a year of working together, it came time for Jason to leave, and I thought there was no way that anybody can fill his shoes. Those of you who know Jason, I think would surely agree with me. But we sat down together and reviewed the list of Master Chiefs and screened for gold badge positions, and without hesitation, Jason said, "You want Chuck Lindsey." I said, "I know Chuck, I know you, I know the others on the list, and you want Chuck Lindsey." So the journey began, but not without a little help from Master Chief Cantrell. Master Chief, I thank you for that. A little bit of help from my good friend Rear Admiral Cook, because Chuck wasn't originally slated here, but for a number of reasons we were able to work it out. And as I said, the journey began to thank you, all we did. Master Chief Lindsey's done an incredible job here over the past year and a half. You're going to hear about many of his accomplishments when we formally recognize him in just a few minutes, but I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. Chuck established incredible rapport with our station's COs and officers in charge of the command post. Many are here today, and many travel from long distances just to be here with them. I think it shows the respect that they have for Chuck and for all that he's done for them. He's listened to their concerns, he's brought that back, he's made sure that I hear what I need to hear, and not what people think I need to hear. And I'm going to tell you, we've been able to make some things happen, and I think our COs and officers in charge out there will do it. And it's because of him bird dogging it, and just taking the initiative to see things through. So I can't say enough about that. Master Chief also spearheaded efforts to improve the new housing throughout the OR. As a matter of fact, he took it upon himself to invite the program managers for the housing program on Coast Guard headquarters to come out, and they spent a week here on the West Coast. Unreal. Chuck met them down in Williams and traveled with them all the way up the coast to look at every unit of housing that we have in the Coast Guard, with the exception of Nilo. And I can tell you we have benefited so much from that. Just the fact that those program folks don't get out here that often, we really got a chance to see the issues that we've got, what our folks are dealing with, and how they can help, and they can help. We've seen funds come our way, we've seen reprioritization of some of the projects, and again, that's all because of Chuck's leadership and his strong desire to see things through, to make things better for our men and women in the family. Chuck developed strong partnerships with our DoD counterparts. As many of you know, he reported here from the U.S. Army Sergeant Major Academy in El Paso, Texas. A truly unique and once-in-a-lifetime experience. And the connections that he forged during his attendance have proven to be invaluable for us here in B-13. He struck up a great relationship with the folks down at Joint Base Ghost Report and other field commands throughout the 14th District. And there are reps here today from those commands, and we thank you for your serving this great country. So we thank Chuck for what he brought, and I know that those relationships will continue on into the future. Chuck worked tirelessly with General Collins, with Andrea and their staff for Higher America's Heroes. What an incredible organization that is. Chuck was our military representative for the Board of Directors. And Higher America's Heroes basically works to ensure that our veterans and their families have opportunities post-military career. And they work hard to ensure that our men and women in uniform know what they bring to the business world when they leave. And they work to educate those businesses and corporations about what it is that our military members do. Matter of fact, just a couple of weeks ago, we had an event right here in the gym. We had more than 30 corporation businesses from throughout the area, probably more than that, some large businesses, the Starbucks, the Boeings, the Amazons, all here. And we spent a couple hours, our master chiefs took those individuals around and met our Coast Guard men and women in the workspaces doing what they do best. And I can't tell you how much that did for educating these folks. And the one thing that I heard multiple times after that was we had no idea how many different things your Coast Guard men and women do. You don't just do one job. You're doing all kinds of stuff. Leadership of this world, the ability to work in teams, all those kind of things. That's what Higher America's Heroes about. And Chuck has done just an absolutely tremendous job in working with them. We've also had the opportunity to work with the Seattle Seahawks organization. As many of you know, last year we were their sponsored military organization. What a trip. Oh my goodness. I was still looking for the football. It was in my office. It mysteriously disappeared a couple of weeks ago. So if you happen to see that, please let me know. Just thought I'd throw that out. We've worked very closely with the Navy League and the councils throughout the 13th district. With the incredible seafarer team, Bev Knox, who was the seafarer is here with us today. And wow, it's just been an awesome experience for us. And one of the other things, and there's so many, I can't go into all of them, one of the other things that we've done here was to partner to get involved with the Honor Flight team down at Seattle. And for those of you that aren't aware of Honor Flight, it's basically a way to recognize our veterans, our World War II veterans particularly. And they fly those folks back to D.C. for a weekend, and many of them have never been there. They've never been able to go to Arlington to see the memorials and those kind of things. And our Coast Guard folks have taken it on themselves to be there on Saturday morning, 4:30 in the morning, to welcome the vets, to welcome their families, to help get their luggage cleared, get them on the plane, and then we're there on Monday to welcome them and make them back. We had a COIC conference back in September. We started on a Tuesday. We brought everybody in on Monday night just so we could be there to welcome these folks back. And wow, what an amazing thing that is. So I really appreciate all the Master Chief that spearheaded that, and just a neat thing to do. Getting to know Master Chief Lindsey has been a wonderful experience, but there are a couple of things that cause me to pause when I think about this immensely knowledgeable and impressive leader. You know, first thing is his fear of flying in helicopters. And it's something, your two bosses are both helicopter pilots. And I regret in our time together, I was never able to get to fly with Master Chief. At first, really didn't think a whole lot of it. I noticed that every time we had the chance to go flying, he came up with some meager excuse not to go. I still look forward to one day being able to do that trip. I don't know how we feel about it. Now the other things that you may or may not be aware of is, in addition to the fear of flying, he's also afraid of spiders, dentists, and clowns. I don't know much about the dentist and clowns piece, but I do know about the spiders. And one of the things that I have missed so much is my little buddy Bo coming over to the house and saying, "Piter, Mr. Reed, Piter, touch it, you touch it." And I look back and there's Chuck going, "Starman." I will miss that big time. Chuck, I couldn't have hoped to work with a better Master Chief. I can confidently say that the entire District 13 staff and the units in our AOR will be sad to see you go. Just last week, I had the pleasure of visiting several units down in Sector Columbia River's AOR, and everywhere we went, Each unit praised your efforts and noted how sorely you'll be missed. Your work here has made a difference for each and every unit. You personally invested in our Coast Guard men and women and took their concerns for action. You truly embodied our command philosophy to accomplish the mission, serve our people, and live our core values. Working with you has been an absolute privilege and pleasure. But as great as it was working together, the Bromley family gained an added benefit when the Lindseys moved to Alpine in July and became our neighbors. We've been blessed to have Mike and Diane White living next door for the first 2 years we were here, but at least we were blessed to have Diane living next door. And then we were blessed again when Shock, Leslie, Keegan, and Bose joined us. We spent many nights on the porch, watching incredible sunsets, drinking a beverage every once in a while, attempting to solve all the Coast Guard's problems, or at least trying to forget about them. Shock, I think that's what I'm going to miss most of all. Well, Leslie, Keegan, and Bo, thanks for your friendship. We really have enjoyed spending time with you and getting to know all of you. And while we hate to see you go, we're excited about what the future has in store for all of you. Thanks for the support you provided as Chuck served this country so faithfully these past 23 years. We know that we don't do this alone. The moves, the duty spend, and the time away from home all make it very difficult for our family. Thanks for sharing him with us. Now it's time for us to give him back. Master Chief McPhillamy, welcome to you and Robin to Seattle and to the District 13 team. Your reputation precedes you. You've done the CMC job before and you come very highly recommended. Thanks for your flexibility in filling our off-season vacancy. I'm counting on you, as I did Jason and Chuck, to keep your finger on the pulse of our workforce and their families, to act as my trusted advisor, and again, ensure that I hear what I need to hear, and not what people think I do. And most of all, have fun doing what we do here. There's no better job in the Coast Guard, and certainly no better people to work with. Welcome aboard. We're excited to have you on the team. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for being here to share with us today. Merry Christmas, Semper Fidelis.
Now, it's my distinct honor to introduce the 13th Coast Guard District Command Master Chief, Charles Lindsey. After this ceremony, we're going to my retirement ceremony, and I'll get to speak again, so I'm going to keep this really, really short. Master Chief Robin, welcome to the 13th Coast Guard District. Guys, you're coming to a great place, and I think it's going to be one of your most favorite. Yes, I promise. To Admiral Chief Staff, look at her. The entire staff, when I say the whole staff, I mean the district, from the deck plate all the way to the top. Thank you. This is the best district in the Coast Guard, and we're doing amazing things every day. And I mean, just look at our public affairs program that we have and all the great stuff you see on the internet, on television, and it's all because of the stuff that you're doing every day. So thank you for showing up, and thank you for doing it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Master Chief Lindsey will now read his orders. Thought I could get away from not doing that. I will now read my orders from Commander Coast Guard Personnel Command to Master Chief Charles Lindsey, United States Coast Guard. Subject orders. On relief, detached from duty as the 13th Coast Guard District Command Master Chief, and report to home selection in connection with your retirement orders. Please welcome to the podium Master Chief Petty Officer Sean McPhillamy for reading his orders.
I will now read my orders from Commander, Coast Guard Personnel Services Command to Master Chief Petty Officer Sean McPhillamy, United States Coast Guard. Subject orders. Detached from duty as Coast Guard Base Kodiak Command Master Chief and report for duty as 13th Coast Guard District Command Master Chief.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the 13th Coast Guard District Command Master Chief, Master Chief Petty Officer Sean McPhillips.
Our United States Coast Guard is observing and celebrating our 225th year of service. Our commitment to excellence continues, and a lot of this today, the work that has been going on is directly due to the successes of Master Chief Lindsey. Thank you very much, Admiral Brownlee.
Thank you very much for your faith in me.
Master Chief Cantrell, I greatly appreciate your trust in me. We will continue to accomplish our missions. We will do this by serving our people, and we in the 13th Coast Guard District, we live our core values. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to serving you. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your faith and trust in me. Never promise.
This concludes the change of watch ceremony. We will begin the retirement ceremony momentarily. Please remain in your seats. Thank you. Retirement ceremonies are a time-honored tradition that formally recognize the completion of service for military personnel. They mark the departure of our shipmates who have faithfully and diligently served our country and the United States Coast Guard. We're assembled here today to pay tribute to Master Chief Petty Officer Charles Lindsey, who is retiring after over 23 years of faithful and honorable service to his country. We're also gathered to say thanks to a good shipmate. Thanks to his many contributions, which in their own unique way have made our Coast Guard a stronger and more capable force. Just as this is the end of one phase of his life, it is the beginning of another. So our gathering today also gives us the opportunity to wish him every success in the future as he looks forward to new challenges and rewards. I would like to extend another welcome to Master Chief Lindsey's wife, Leslie, son Bosley Keaton. I know that you, more than any one of us, are vividly aware of the sacrifices that Chuck has made in the service of our country, and I speak for the entire command when I say how pleased we are to have you here today. It is my distinct honor to introduce the guest speaker for today's retirement, the 12th Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard and Silver Ancient Mariner, Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, Steve Cantrell.
Well, good morning, everybody. If you can tell my about puberty voice, it'll be really quick this morning. My voice will go out before I get done. But good morning. It's truly an honor to be back here in Seattle. It's not a sad day. Today is the day that we're going to celebrate. And it's an honor that Chuck would allow me just a few minutes just to talk about him and the Lindsey family and his contribution to our country. And send him off into retirement appropriately. I want to tell you a real quick story that dovetails off of Admiral Brownlee. About 2 years ago, when I was serving as Admiral Parker's Command Master Chief in the Atlantic area, I got wind that this guy named Chuck Lindsey, who I've known for a while, was really interested in joining our Command Master Chief program. I was really excited that we were going to have the life of Chuck Lindsey as a leader in our network. His reputation as a caring and compassionate leader is exactly what we needed as a Command Master Chief, the way to get after the duties that you have to get after. Now, after getting selected for my current job, around the same time, I was given the task of picking my own team. The first thing that I looked at was Chuck Lindsey. When I sent his application out to the flag corps, I knew there was going to be some arm wrestling going on to get his services. I had no less than 3 admirals contact me, or at least express interest in Chuck Lindsey. Fortunately for you all in the district, he So I'll call him a Brahma kid. He's a big, strong guy. He wiped out the competition. And he landed one of our finest Coast Guard leaders to be your representative, to be his right hand man. I knew Chuck was a little bit nervous about this job, and probably wondered if he'd be able to do it to the level that he knew it needed to be done. That, my friend, is called being humble and caring, knowing that he knew the men and women of this district were entitled to the very best leadership that could be provided. So Chuck, let me say, I never had a doubt for a second. I knew you were the best man for this job, and you performed your duties admirably, and taking care of the men and women of this district that demands so much of their talent. Chuck is one of those leaders that knows it was never, ever about him. He was not selfish ever, and always had your back, District 13. Today, as we lose a fine servant leader, I hope that you know, Chuck, you leave Coast Guard a much better place than it was when you arrived in Memphis in Cape May so many years ago. You trained your release, and you trained your release, and have inspired an entire generation of Coast Guardmen to follow in your footsteps. That is your legacy. That's what you should be proud of. Now, none of us gets here alone. And to your lovely family, let me say thank you. Thank you for your service and for your sacrifice you've made that allowed Chuck to be successful. We are forever in your debt, and we wish you the very best in the next chapter of your life. You've certainly earned to get it back. Chuck, my good friend, I'm going to miss you. As for the service that you've given so much to over the past 2+ decades, your journey has been one we would all be proud of. And I wish you much success in all your future endeavors. And on behalf of the 32,000 enlisted men and women of our Coast Guard, let me just say thank you. You are one of many. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me just a few moments to gloat on the Lindsay. I wish you all a very happy holiday. May God bless the Lindsay family on their journey and continue to bless the men and women that serve our beloved Coast Guard. Thank you so much.
Master Chief Lindsey, would you please join Admiral Brock and Master Cantrell that you may be more formally recognized. Would the guests please rise? Military members, attention to award citation. Citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal, Gold Star in lieu of award to Charles E. Lindsey, Master Chief Boatswain's Mate, United States Coast Guard. Master Chief Petty Officer Lindsey is cited for meritorious service in the performance of duty as Command Master Chief of the 13th Coast Guard District from June 2014 to December 2015. Master Chief Petty Officer Lindsey ensured the well-being and professional development of the district workforce consisting of 1,764 active duty, 394 reserve, and 132 civilian members, and assisted the Pack Area Gold Badge in providing on-scene support to non-district units located in the Pacific Northwest. Leading a team from CG 1333, CG 43, and CG Housing West on a tour of the district housing units, he raised critical awareness of the unique housing challenges faced by members in District 13. His perseverance led to improvements valued at over $3.7 million, including the approval of the rehab of 8 housing units in Checkover River in 2016. His leadership was most evident during the crisis. He ensured members in need received immediate, tangible assistance from the entire Coast Guard support network and visited dozens of personnel in the hospital. Master Chief Petty Officer Lindsey partnered with local workforce staff in increasing organizational resilience across the district through workshops held at numerous COIC meetings and unit visits. He headed the district officer in charge boards and ensured the best and brightest were recommended for command. A boat forces expert, he astutely arranged for the transfer of 2 47-foot motor lifeboats in excellent condition from the 17th district to replace 2 surf-worn motor lifeboats in District 13. As the leader of the 13th District Chiefs Mess, he provided improved cohesiveness to the district chiefs and ensured the chief health and indoctrination throughout the district was a positive, career-enhancing experience for all participants. Master Chief Petty Officer Lindsey's dedication and devotion to duty are most heartily commended are in keeping keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. The guests can please be seated. We will now present Master Chief Lindsey with the Presidential Retirement Certificate. Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. Master Chief Boatswain Mate Charles Lindsey, I extend you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who will join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. President Obama, I have before me letters to Master Chief Lindsey thanking him for his service from President George H.W. Bush, President Bill Clinton, and President George W. Bush, and that weren't enough. One from the coach of the greatest football team on the planet, Coach Pete Carroll. And all these letters to be I would like to ask Leslie to join Master Chief Lindsey on stage to accept a small token of recognition for the support she's provided her husband over the years. United States Coast Guard Certificate of Appreciation. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Leslie M. Lindsey has earned grateful appreciation for her unselfish, faithful, and devoted service during her husband's Coast Guard career. Her unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible her husband's lasting contribution to the nation. Signed, Paul F. Suncombe, Admiral, U.S. Coast Guard, Commandant. The United States Coast Guard thanks you for your support. We will now present Master Chief Lindsey with his Armed Forces Certificate of Retirement. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Master Chief Boatswain Mate Charles Lindsey, having been retired after honorable service in the United States Coast Guard, is awarded this testimonial as an acknowledgement of duty faithfully performed during a period of over 23 years, done at Washington, D.C., this 18th day of December in the year of our Lord 2015. Signed, Paul F. Suncombe, Admiral, U.S. Coast Guard, Commandant. We will now present Master Chief Lindsey with his retirement flag. Flag detail, front and center. Today's flag detail is comprised of Senior Chief Petty Officer Ryan Coon, Chief Petty Officer Carlos Hessel, Chief Petty Officer Robert Hale, Petty Officer First Class Matthew Lawson, and Seaman Sarah Wilson. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of higher learning. I flew high above the USS Marshall in 1942, watching over Master Chief Lindsey's grandfather Monty at the battles of Truk, Tinian, Palau, Guam, and Guadalcanal during World War II. And I was there in Cape May, New Jersey, when Seaman Bryce Lindsey graduated Coast Guard recruit training in 1992. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, I am proud. I was with Master Chief Lindsey's father, Tony, as he served as a lifeboat coxswain in Channel Islands, and with Seaman Chuck Lindsey when he reported aboard his first unit, the Coast Guard cutter Conifer, in San Pedro, California. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am saluted. I am respected. I am revered. I am loved and I am feared. In 1995, when Petty Officer Lindsey was deployed, supporting the war-torn country of Eritrea, Africa, securing its ports from the illegal trafficking of narcotics and aiding its restructure, I was there. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 230 years. When America fought for her freedom, I was there. When America fought for the freedom of others in World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Persian Gulf, Bosnia, Iraq, Afghanistan, I was there. I meet sailors. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small boat in Guadalcanal. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired, but my sailors and Marines cheered me. I was proud. I was there on September 11, 2001, when BM1 Lindsey served aboard the Coast Guard cutter Narwhal, securing the port of Los Angeles and protecting our western approaches following the horrific attacks on the World Trade Center. I have been soiled, burned, trampled on the streets of countries that I have helped set free. It does not hurt me, for I am invincible. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it is by those with whom I stand for this in great country, it hurts, but still I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space from my vantage point on the moon. I have been silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hours when I am torn into strips and used for bandages for my wound. I was standing tall at the Coast Guard stations Ketchikan, San Juan, and Marathon while Master Chief Lindsey and the young men and women under his command saved more than 430 lives, seized countless pounds of illicit narcotics, and protected the homeland. And I was flying top during Super Stanley over Fisherman's Hospital in Key West, Florida, when Chuck and Leslie welcomed their son Bosun into this world. I am proud to have served my country with you during your many years of service. I will be with you just as I was during your active service. Dear God, long may I wait. I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Master Chief, on behalf of the Chief's Mess, Chief Petty Officer Robert Abel, and I present you with your shadow box. The tradition of presenting a shadow box to a retiring sailor comes from early British customs. It was considered bad luck for a sailor, upon final departure from a ship, to allow his shadow to hit the pier before he himself departed from the ship. In order to ensure that such misfortune would not befall their shipmates, the crew would construct a box of the finest timber and place within it all things that reflected his accomplishment. Only then could the man with the shadow of himself in hand safely depart the ship and go ashore once and for all. Master Chief, on behalf of the 13th District Commanding Officers and Officers in Charge, Chief Warrant Officer Ryan O'Meara, Commanding Officer War Rifle Station Point Bay, has the presentation.
what he's done for us, and the amount of effort he's put in. He's been here for a year, 5, 6 months, and he's accomplished more in that time than any other person I've met in the Coast Guard. He's helped every single one of our units out, and on behalf of the COs and OSCs and Chiefs Mess, I can't even tell you what respect we have. So this is the plaque of all the D13 unit coins, and came up over our, that's the BMCM LINDSEY, Command Master Chief D13. And on the side up here, it has all the lat longs of all the units you can station at the Coast Guard. Just love our respect for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Master Chief Petty Officer Charles Lindsey.
All right. Thank you for sitting so long. Adam Brownlee, Master Chief Cantrell, Adam Parker, General Collins, Teresa Secret here. Command officer in charge is distinguished guests and friends and family. You know, there's so many people I remember so many people that I want to thank. I can't even begin to start. I'm Brown, Captain Terrell. Thank you for the perfect end to a great career. You're incredible leaders, friends, and it's been an honor serving with you. Master Chief Cantrell, I don't know what to say about it. Except that I wish I could have worked with you. Without a doubt, every Coast Guard in this room is proud of our very much. Captain, you know. Captain, talking more about leadership than I can ever it's been an honor getting more Dean, thanks for the kind words about the sea mountains. It's pretty big and you don't know promise. Alright. As I look around the room, I see so many of you that influenced me, mentored me, and helped me. Thank you to all of you. Last night I spent time with some friends. I was reminded about what's made this experience so great. It reminded me of something about my grandmother. You see, I'm really lucky my grandmother's still alive. She's 90 years old. She was one of the greatest generations, and she started us back at 90. She told me once that President Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, and when she did, she beamed with pride. She told me that she heard an interview one time from this great man that got us out of the Great Depression, took on the axis of evil, and rose our country at a time that was one of the worst in history. And he did it all from the confines, painfully in a wheelchair. She told me in this interview that she heard on the radio, she told me that he was asked, you know, what was the secret to his success? And he said it was really easy. He said, I'm really not that smart. Right? Here's one of our greatest presidents in history. He said, I'm really not that smart. I'm just surrounded by really great people. Last night, I was reminded that as years pass, I'm not going to remember all the rescues and interdictions. I'm not going to remember how I got any of this stuff on my uniform. But what I'll always remember is the people whom I was privileged to know and to serve. I'm asked sometimes, you know, hey, how do I become a Master Chief? How do you get so successful? And the answer is really simple. I was surrounded by great people, and I've always been surrounded by heroes. You see, it started at a young age. I had 2 incredible parents and 2 wonderful step-parents who loved me and more importantly, held me accountable. Because I wasn't the greatest kid. But on weekends, when my dad had the duty weekend, I'd spend running up and down the docks, and every once in a while I got to drive another lifeboat. You see, the Coast Guard's in my blood. It's been there my entire life. And my entire life I've been surrounded by great people. I've been surrounded by my heroes. I remember my first day as I recorded and one of them yelled, "Fresh meat?" As I sit on the pier and I was really nervous. And before the first line got over, the chief jumped over the rail, came up, grabbed my seat bag, put it over his shoulder, and he said, "You came here to work, you came to the right place. Now get your ass on board. Welcome to the real Coast Guard." From that day, I had amazing people around me. Commander John Oates, Chief Jeff Gunn, Troy Schrum, Mike Stone. Where's Mike? It's incredible. After Concord, I was assigned to the Pac Area Law Enforcement Training Team. From Africa to Japan, I traveled all over the world with folks like Rob Gerstner, Rob, where you at? Cliff Fuller. In fact, you know, even though these guys are just the guys that got to me, they took me under their wing and taught me what it meant to be a great petty officer, and I never forgot it. My first boat station, I had Dave Warback, Chris Robinson, Ryan Cooney. Again, so many great people, so many leaders around me. From the Point Stewart to the Narwhal to my first command station catch jam, great folks were always there. Captain Warman, sir, I know you're here. I saw you. I didn't get to talk to you, but I saw you. BM on Hessler, BM3 Cruz, BM3 Losner, Captain Hillary. The list goes on and on. They were always there. And many of them are here today. In Puerto Rico, I had Master Chief Eric Johnson and Captain Noonan. I worked for one of the finest leaders I've ever known. Everything that this guy taught me in Puerto Rico, I carried with me to my next command, and I would have never been able to do the things that we did with combat human trafficking and smuggling without his guidance and his constant mentoring. From Marathon, Leslie and I stepped completely out of our comfort zone, and we joined the Army for a year. Whoa. Before in the Sergeant Major's Academy, I was completely out of my element, but soon found myself surrounded by amazing people again. Sergeant Major McDonald, right here at our state capitol, reached out to us early and helped us through our transition. And my dear friend, Sergeant Major Matt Morrow, reminded me every time that I wasn't crazy. It was just the Army. I went to Fort Bliss thinking I was going to learn about joint operations, but what I really got out was so much more. You know, spend some time in the Coast Guard to save a few lives and bust some drug runners, and really start to think your shit doesn't stink. Sorry. Yeah. Didn't say that. But you spend a few minutes with men like Sergeant Major Morrow, Sergeant Major Drew Keechler, who's here today, or Sergeant Major Kerry Perio, who's currently serving the 10th Mountain over in Iraq, and you're immediately humbled. You truly are. Because these men are heroes. They're heroes who just wear different uniforms. They've been fighting an enemy for over a decade. They've been taking the fight to them on their doorstep. What did I get out of Sergeant Major's Academy for that short year? A lot. I got a renewed sense of service and some incredible friends, and more importantly, I have more heroes to be thankful for. Lastly, District 13. What an incredible place to end my career. Working for your admiral has not only been an honor, it's been fun. You and Bonnie have opened up your homes to us, and we feel like family. Captain Charles, there are no words. I'm with you. Thank you for putting up with this opinionated Master Chief, and thank you for renewing me. Derek, Burrell, Jamie, and the entire staff, thank you for everything. You will be missed. Let me do this one. And finally, Officer Chargers, thanks for keeping me grounded and reminding me why I'm here. It's no secret he's outside because he's a terrorist. You're so? Not really. There's no secret that I named my son Bosun. And when asked why, I remind everyone that my dad was actually an MK. It was a way to get back at it. Maybe it was evolution. But the reality is, and I realized this a while ago, that I can't wait until he's open to ask him why I'm named Bosun. I can't wait to tell him SAG and Captain Hunter. Heroes like Josh James, Weber, McAdams. Moss, McKay, O'Meara, chapter. And Mayor Bob will eventually retire in Alaska, and our home in Ketchikan. We'll look back at the fondest memories of our time at the Coast Guard. If you all have one thing from today, it's like we love If you remember me telling you one thing, remember this, please. It ain't about the parking spot. It ain't about the parking spot, and it's definitely not about all this crap on your chest. It's about one thing, it's about your people. Care for them, trust them, empower them, and believe in them. Serve your people and not yourself. And I guarantee your successes will be greater than you can imagine. Thank you all for the life you've chosen. God bless you and keep you safe. And keep your careers warm. Thank you.
Please be seated. I will now read the watch. For 23 years, the sailors stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, the sailors stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, the shipmates stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, the shipmates stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of the war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, his shipmates stood the watch. Many times he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times, but he still stood the watch. He stood the watch for 23 years. He stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly and safely each and every night, knowing that the sailors stood the watch. Today we're here to say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those who have trained, guided, and led. Shipmate, you stand relieved. We have the watch. Bosun, stand by the pipe beside. All chiefs, man beside you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as Chaplain Greenwald delivers the benediction and remain standing for Semper Paratus and the departure of the official party.
Well, in benediction today, as we bid farewell and following seats to Chuck, Leslie, Keegan, and Bosun, I'd like to share with you a reading that is both assurance and guidance, I believe, to each of us as we face the invitations, the opportunities, the challenges and responsibilities both of our professional and of our personal lives. This reading comes from the 91st Psalm. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High, who abides in the shadow of the Almighty, will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. Now may God grant all of you the wisdom to see the impact of the steps you take. May God give you the courage which you shall need to take those steps. May God guide your steps, that they bear the fruits of compassion in the midst of all you do. Amen.
Military personnel, attention. 13th Coast Guard District departing. Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard departing. Master Chief Petty Officer, U.S. Coast Guard retired, departing. This concludes today's ceremony. I would like to invite you all to stay for a reception, which will be held in the barrel. If you don't have the barrel,